What are your thoughts? Oh, this is for you, Van, probably because you were the Green Czar. Remember when you were the Green Czar?
I do remember.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the tactics of environmental activists who throw soup at the Mona Lisa and disrupt traffic? They also glue themselves to things. And is there a better approach to advocacy? No, there isn't. That is the one that works, and it's solving the problem in record time.
It's sad because all that crap overshadows the people who are doing the real work. We got a bipartisan bill done under Biden. Young people worked their butts off for that, and they did it the right way. They knocked on doors. They did it the right way. They get overshadowed by nonsense, and I think we need to really lift up. You've got this generation that really does care. They're trying to be constructive. You do have red states that have clean energy jobs that are growing alongside the jobs that I like a little bit less. It all gets overshadowed. Some idiot blocks traffic, and that's all anybody talks about.
Why soup?
I don't know. It's vegan soup.
No.
It's vegan soup.
These kids, they truly believe, man. They truly believe they're doing something. Because the world's going to end, like next Tuesday. They think the world's going to end. So again, they're doing something and they don't know what to do. So again, they're throwing soup. That's what they do. They glue themselves to whatever. But again, man, they believe the world's going to end because they've been brainwashed. They have been brainwashed again by some professor. They have told them the world's going to end. And again, we have to do something about it, and we have to do something now. And again, man, they go out there and they do stuff because they feel justified. They feel like, man, I'm justified because, again, some cow might fart and blow the sun up next weekend. So again, we have to understand these kids are gone. They're gone. They're truly gone. And that kind of brings me to Bill's next topic. He is talking to some doctor about why men are moving towards the right and young women are moving more towards the left. I wonder why.
Gene, what explains the gender divide in politics? Why are young women skewing, oh yes, I've read this, more liberal, like by 30 points? Then young men are getting more conservative and young women are getting more liberal. What is your generational view on that?
Yeah, so I mean, that's from a big national survey of 18-year-olds, and young men have become considerably more conservative over time. Young women, a little bit more liberal. So there's just a growing gender gap when it comes to that. The why question is always a hard one to answer in any of this type of research. It could certainly maybe have something to do with abortion rights. It may also be on the right, the existence of Andrew Tate and some of those commentators who try to make masculinity into this almost game that young men may be responding to, even though that's maybe not the way they should be going.
Well, I think
And maybe, just maybe, one of the reasons why is this.
Hello, I'm Admiral Rachel Levine. This Black History Month, I'm pleased to partner with OMH in advancing better health through better understanding for Black communities. Climate change is having a disproportionate effect on the physical and mental health of Black communities. Black Americans are more likely than white Americans to live in areas and housing that increase their susceptibility to climate-related health issues. And 65% of Black Americans report feeling anxious about climate change's impact. Through our Office of Climate Change and Health Equity and the Office of Environmental Justice, we're working with providers and community leaders to identify innovative approaches that empower communities to address the health consequences linked to climate change. Visit hhs.gov for more information and tune in next Thursday to hear from another HHS leader on how you can contribute to advancing better health for Black communities.
Dr. Rachel Levine, I mean, guys, we've got to truly understand that we are living in hell. We truly are. I mean, again, this stuff is pure evil. I mean, not only are they lying to you about climate change, global warming, but they're going to mix racism in there. You know, again, it's impacting the black and brown people. It's impacting them. So again, leftists, listen. Again, we want you to get upset. We want you to scream. Because again, you do what we say. And we're telling you that not only is it bad for the earth, but it's bad for black and brown people. Oh, the poor black and brown people. And again, you're being told this by a grown man in the Biden administration that's up there wearing a damn dress. I mean, think about this. Go back in time 30 years or less and say, hey, this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with this. They would say, man, you're freaking nuts. There's no way. What are you on? But it's true. We are. I mean, it's really, really freaking scary. And the boys that are going more towards the right, I guarantee you, they're seeing this. And they understand not only this, but their masculinity is under attack.
We're an information society now. The jobs that women do and are better at, they're better at communication, they're better at cooperation. That's why they're doing better in the workplace. That's why they're doing better in college, right? So the men feel lost. And then they turn to idiots like Andrew Tate.
Right, and their military service isn't compulsory
Right.
anymore. So instead, it's video games.
I also think that there's something happening on the progressive side that it feels like almost all masculinity is considered toxic.
Right.
And so I think the young men may not feel welcome. Like if you're
It's true.
in other words, I don't think it's so much of a pull of an Andrew Tate, though that's playing a role. I think it just may be a push. Like if you show up and you want to be just like a regular, guy's guy, you just may not be eating enough kale and doing enough yoga to fit in on the left.
It's true.
You know what, guys? I never thought in a million years that I would agree with Van Jones, but I do. I agree with him on this. We have truly got to recognize, man, that our boys need to be left alone so they can grow into men. But a lot of times now we don't do that. Most often we don't do that. We like to, we give our kids medication, give our boys medication because, again, they're too loud. They're too rambunctious. They're too physical. And again, I'm not saying you shouldn't correct boys. You should. But let them be who they are to a certain degree. I mean, again, if they're attacking somebody, then again, you got to step in. But again, the biggest problem right now is we have a lack of men in the homes. People are being told, hey, you don't need no man. You don't need no man to raise your son. You can be father and mother. No, you can't. No, you can't. The women, they have no idea what to do. They don't. I'm sorry, ladies, but you don't. And again, men, fathers, when the boys get too rough, and again, I had 2 boys, and my youngest is a girl. Very different. But my 2 boys, especially when they were younger, when they were real little, they would fight and they would, they get out in the backyard, they do whatever. They push and they tackle each other and everything else. And that's the way boys learn. And fathers know when things get too bad, too physical, you step in and say, hey, knock it off, watch that. Don't do that. But then you step back and you let them be boys. Because again, That's how they grow into men, strong men. Because again, men in their rightful place is to be providers and protectors. That's what they do. That's what men do. But again, if boys are emasculated, they're not going to grow into that kind of man. And that's what we're doing. So again, I do agree fully with Van Jones.
I know we're all gay and we're all fluid now and we're all trans and but a lot of people are still the old school. You know, there was
The old school from 12 years ago.
well, there was, there was a default setting,
Right.
and a lot of women, I think, still want a man to be a man, not an abusive man, but just a man.
Yes.
Yes, I remember. Hey,
You're canceled. How dare you?
yeah, I remember when my mother was a widow the last 15 years of her life. She was always, unhappy, and she said, "I just miss male energy. I need male energy." You know, so good thing we got plenty of it right here on the panel.
I mean, again, we're being told by a man wearing a dress that guess what? Guess what? There's climate change and racism linked. And again, no, there's not. No, there is not. But again, that's the way they appeal to people. When you feminize everything, that's the way to appeal to people. And again, if people don't feel bad, then again, you look at them like, what is wrong with you? You don't feel bad about the black and brown people and about the climate change? What is wrong with you? You're like, no, I don't. I don't think it's real. Well, there's something wrong with you then. It's like, well, no, there's not. But again, we have got to realize, guys, that we have got to raise our boys to be men. We've got to allow them to be boys so they grow up to be men. We truly have got to do that. But the thing is, man, also people have got to recognize, man, what's happening in this country and the Western world. Again, they're making people the problem. They're making people the issue. And again, if you make people the problem, what do you have to do? Get rid of people. Get rid of the people. So again, people have got to recognize what they're doing, what they're going after. And again, when you don't have strong, capable men, again, you're opening yourself up to attack. But guys, man, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a.